Hello.
We could start with English questions and then to Dutch. Just a couple of questions each, if that's okay, and hands up if you'd like to ask. Who'd like to go first?
Are you happy to be back here in Holland?
Yeah, of course. I'm happy in England. I'm happy in Liverpool with the team, with the training ground, and everything that comes with that. But I've had a great time here in Holland, football-wise, but definitely in my private life as well. So it's always nice to be back. Not at the club I'm supporting, but nice to be back and speak a bit of Dutch once in a while as well.
And you've obviously left quite a lot of the senior players at home. You could just explain the reasoning behind that and how it's hard to give some younger or fringe players a chance to prove themselves tomorrow.
Yeah. They don't need to prove themselves. We know what the quality is for the players that we're going to play tomorrow. But I think we are playing, like all the teams in Europe, many games. And these players are ready. So all the ones that are left behind could have played tomorrow. But for the long term, so it doesn't tell you anything about the short term. So it doesn't tell us anything about the Saturday game. But for the long term, if you look back at our season, it's been almost every time after 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, we gave them the break during the week, when it was a League Cup or an FA Cup. If there was a moment for them to get some freshness back, we've always done that. And it took me a while to understand this new format, but I always say when I think I'm 100% sure I use 99.9, but now I can say I'm 100% sure that it doesn't matter at all if we end up 1 or 2, because we will play 14, 15, 16 or 17, and then in the end it's a draw which of the teams we are going to face. So this is a game for us, because we're now number 1 or 2, we cannot drop to number 3. That has no importance of result coming to the league table, but a very wise man once said to me, I've never seen anything good coming from losing a football game, so we are not going into the game tomorrow trying to lose the game. We will do everything we can trying to win it, of course. And second thing is, because that was part of the story, that because we mainly start with 13, 14 players that have shared most of the playing time, the ones that haven't played a lot, it's very useful for them to have 90 minutes, because if we do get into injury problems, these players will have a bit of game rhythm then as well. So it's a choice that we've made for the long term. It doesn't tell you anything about the results in the short term, but definitely it helps us for the long term.
In English, eh?
Yeah, English.
Arne, what do you think of the season of PSV and how they played this season compared with last season when you were in Holland and playing against them?
Yeah, of course, last season I saw a bit more than this season. And last season they were incredible. This season I haven't seen that much. I think they've dropped a few points more than last season, but not that big of a difference. So they are still a team if they als ze gas geven, als ze even hun best doen, dan liggen er ook 2-3 ballen in de Eredivisie. So I go to Dutch now. Is that okay with you? Yeah. Dan scoren ze er ook
Dutch now, and if this is a team that can still score a lot of goals in a short amount of time, so they still have a lot of quality in their squad. So if you talk about the team, nothing has changed there. Talking about Peter Bos, he also likes your philosophy playing football. Are there any similarities?
Many coaches.
Er zijn natuurlijk wel.
One is definitely a similarity. He wants to have the ball a lot. He doesn't go to a low block waiting for the other team to make a mistake. He doesn't let his goalkeeper put the ball on the 6-yard line and kick it as far as he can. He wants to bring the ball out from the back. So I think for the PSV fans, and I've noticed this when I was here last season, but they're really happy that Peter is here, because he doesn't only bring results every every game he's involved in, I think it's a joy to watch. It's always positive. It's always eventful. A lot of things happen. So I think the fans here in Eindhoven are, not only because he won the league, very happy, mainly also because of his playing style. And I know we are mainly judged about results, but I would hope that there comes a time that managers are always also judged on their playing style, which is difficult because almost everyone judges us. If we win, we play well. If we lose, we don't play well.
Cool. One in front.
In Dutch or in English?
You can do Dutch.
Je kunt doen Dutch.
Ja, ik heb eigenlijk één vraag. Hè.
Je mag er ook vaak niet meer, hè? Dus hier bij Liverpool mag het gaan doen.
For you, please go ahead, continue. There was a wise man that taught you
Het gaat voorspoedig.
during your career that things are going well.
Geef het jou
A lot of players that have time to play. Does this give you more confidence that you have so many players who are able to play, or is it also a bit scary to switch that amount of players and change them?
Of ik het angstig vind dat dat nog niet gebeurt.
Does it scare me, is the question, if this happens?
Nou, beide misschien niet echt.
No, maybe both. I don't. Maybe both. Because I don't think in football that you can think for the past few months it has been going very well. So then we are convinced that it will be going well in future as well. We cannot do so, especially because when you're involved in the team, and I've said this also during my time at Feyenoord, it's so difficult to become a champion, and some people are watching from the outside say it has been easy. No. There are many things that need to go well, that you need to perform well, and some things that I always mentioned at Feyenoord is that I felt that 10 times a day you need to throw the dice and 6 has to roll out. So to be successful, you have to perform. It doesn't give you any guarantees. It doesn't give us any more confidence than others. I wouldn't say that I'm scared neither, because when you're in this job, tomorrow we play PSV, then Bournemouth, and then Tottenham. I don't remember what will happen now. League Cup, FA Cup, and after that another game during the week. So I'm especially working on PSV and Bournemouth, and this is exceptional because normally I would only work on PSV, but yes, I'm looking into the match against Bournemouth as well.
Will the players who stay behind train tomorrow, or are they off? And have you left any staff members behind to help them?
No, they will be off tomorrow if there's a possibility. If it's possible, we always prefer to have them off 3 days before the game. That's not always possible if you play so many games. But they will train on Thursday, so there will go a few staff members back home earlier Thursday morning to train with the ones that stay behind on Thursday, but they're off tomorrow. Yeah.
Arne, dan gaan we voor gemak even naar het Nederlands. En nu je weer in Nederland bent, heb ik vast wel veel berichten gekregen.
Now that you are back in Holland, did you receive a lot of messages? People saying hello to you. But I was wondering, if your biggest critic person, did you invite him, your father? No, I don't receive any messages of the people who are here, but I don't know if this is normal in football, but I didn't receive any messages from you guys. But yes, I receive a lot of messages in general, not only this week, but the last few months. My father will not be here. He says that he can watch much better when he watches the television. He sees many more things. And he's from Bergentheim, the village where Arne was born. And what I don't miss in the Netherlands is the amount of traffic that we have in this country. So I don't think that he had to drive 2.5 hours, but much longer than that. So I don't think it's that strange. So I don't think that he will be watching with too many nerves from the couch at home. Dutch. Besides the fact that you're performing so well in Champions League, how do you look at this new stage tournament, this new setup? For many times I have said that at the end of the tournament you can only judge or talk about how this Champions League setup has changed. And maybe if you look at the teams that are now 16, 17, 18 spot, maybe some clubs change, like Celtic, man. So sometimes you've played 6 or 7 games and you won, and then you hope that this will give you a prize. But well, we have to hope that this is still the case. But in the past, some other clubs who performed worse and still continued during the Champions League. And now we can say that there is still a playoff phase and that they are able to reach further in the tournament. So if you ask me as a coach on this team, as a club coach from a club who worked at somewhere where it wasn't that easy to continue in the tournament, well, I think for them it's even better, because now I ask myself if it's a bad thing to end up 16th, 17th in this setup. So if I would say that everybody will continue,
12.
if I say all 8 clubs will continue, how many? 8, 12? Yeah, well then it's a lot, right? Arne, they declared you almost as a saint. Do you sometimes watch yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth? What's it like to be Arne Slot? When you look at the mirror, well, it's not always that pleasant, I have to confess. To be a bit self-criticism here and self-spot to use. I wish I had a little bit more hair, for example. But no, as a head coach, I'm not looking at the things that people were quite positive about me when I worked at Feyenoord. It gives you a certain pressure to perform for the next games. People expect that working at Feyenoord you end up first in the table. So no, you're not dealing with the press all day and what people write about you. But what you can do, and what I was doing, is doing the things that you can influence on, and we have to work hard for that. But me and my staff as well, we always want to prepare as best as possible, because tomorrow and then again against the Bournemouth, there's a little space between the games. Yes, I look at myself in the mirror, but not that many times, because I'm just working hard.
Keuzes maakt om spelers thuis te laten, maar heeft u niet overwogen om wel hier met je topteam aan te treden?
Your decision to leave players at home, you already explained a little bit, but have you also thought about bringing in the best players and to perform with your team? Because this is your squad. Is this something that you're dealing with to show yourself? No, I'm not dealing with what my team is like because I want to win. No, I'm dealing with my team. I'm looking into the long term of this process of the group management, and I think that the group that we bring on the pitch tomorrow is great. And it would be strange if tomorrow the group has the same level as we would have in other games, but still we will have a team that when they play in a League Cup, they would be able to win against Southampton, and I think Brighton that we had in League Cup. It wasn't that easy, by the way, but we did win. And as you've seen, after me, Cody Gakpo will be here, so I decided to bring him, for example. So yes, I do think about some sentiments or feelings that go here, but have you seen that he didn't play against Lille last week? For the ones here in the room who are sharp and did you notice?
Is het dan ook, als je 7 maanden geleden begon, had je toen kunnen denken dat je hier nu zo zou zitten met de resultaten en het spel en wat je toen bereikt?
Have you ever imagined what it would be like to win this amount of games and to perform this well? I've received this question many times. I am never dealing with where I will be in 6 or 7 months. The only way that I work is how can I bring in my style of play as soon as possible with this team. And the reason that the club ended up with me is because of there were so many characteristics that I shared between the game of style of Jurgen Klopp and mine, and some personalities. That's the first focus, and after that the draw was for Champions League. I was hoping that I don't hope that the last game of this Champions League will be still important, because more than some of the English journalists here in the room are still knowing that it will be really difficult to play here or at Feyenoord, because it brings the best players who perform here. So as a group, I'm happy to be in the position that we are in now. Thanks to this new format of the Champions League, it doesn't matter if we win or lose tomorrow. So yes, I'm happy. But please, the differences between England and Netherlands, we all can see the difference in quality or intensity, but can you mention please another difference
Nou, je
that
moet
we
het wel een
might not
beetje
think
relatief
about?
zien, hè, want
You have to
ja, ik vind ook
see this
dat in
relatively
zijn algemeenheid
way,
mogen we
because
sowieso
in
meer
general
goede voetbal
there
spelen dan
are
Nederland.
many
Om
more
simpele reden
players
dat er
in
veel meer
England
geld te besteden is.
than in the Netherlands
Maar
because
ik
there
denk
is
dat
more
het drie
money
kwart
to
jaar geleden
spend,
nog
of
maar was
course.
dat Mats
But
Wiever en Jerry Schouten
only
boven
half a
waren en
year
Gravenberg
ago,
en die echt
Jerry
niet van het
Schouten
Nederlands elftal. Dus je
and
kan wel niet
Gravenberg
zeggen
in
dat
the Dutch national
de spelers
team,
van Feyenoord of
they were
PSV
higher in the
zoveel malen
hierarchy.
minder zijn dan
So
wanneer
I
wij
wouldn't say
hebben.
that
Helemaal
the
niet
players
zelfs.
from PSV are
Alleen, ik
much
heb al
having
vaak proberen
less
uit te leggen
quality
om te duiden
than
wat
the
het
Dutch
verschil
national
tussen
team, or
Premier
that
League
we
en
have, for example.
dat in
But if you compare it to the Dutch Eredivisie,
Nederland
Dutch
rechterlijntje, in
league,
Engeland zeggen ze onderkant van de
and
table,
in
maar
the
het
Netherlands you
rechterlijntje
would say the right side of the
denk ik
table, and
geen,
in
of
the lower
misschien
side of
één, als
that
je heel
part
goed
of the
zoekt,
table.
een speler te
If you
vinden
look
die
at
heel
one
misschien
player
bij Ajax,
who
PSV of Feyenoord kan spelen.
maybe could play in
En
Ajax,
als jij
PSV or
in Engeland
Feyenoord,
kijkt,
and
denk
if
ik
you
dat elk team
look
wel
at
twee, drie
England,
spelers heeft die
I
of
think
kunnen
every
spelen
team
of
has
voor een
one
bedrag
or
zijn
two
aangetrokken.
teams
Waarbij
that could play or that has been bought for a lot of money that could also have
een uitwedstrijd
happened
winnen
at a top
of überhaupt
club.
de
So
wedstrijd in de Premier
to
League.
win a
Nog
game
zoals
in
wij
Premier
daar
League,
ook
an
nog
away game, or
als je
even
luistert
any
naar de beste
game,
spelers
is a
zijn,
bigger
mag je ervan
challenge.
uitgaan dat de managers
Because not only they have
ook wel
better
behoorlijk zijn.
players, but also the managers
heel goed
are.
Dus dat
well,
zorgt
I have
elke
to say
keer
they're
weer
really
met elke
good.
wedstrijd een
So
enorme
each
uitdaging.
game,
En dat maakt het
this
dus nog
makes
zwaarder, want we gaan ook een
a
programma
bigger
van de 3 dagen
challenge.
spelen.
The program in
denk,
Feyenoord was similar
Als wij
because we
2, 3
played every
wedstrijden
3
meer speelden dan
games.
Feyenoord, dat je het
But
dan
I think that if
weet niet
we
zeker, maar
have
dat schat
2
ik
or
wel
3
bij
more
doen.
games than
Alleen,
Feyenoord,
om te
right?
spelen
I'm
tegen
guessing,
de
and I
spits
think
van-
that's about it.
Die hebben de laatste wedstrijd gespeeld.
But to play against the striker of our last game, who did we face?
Ipswich.
Who did we face last game? Ah, Ipswich Town. Okay.
Om te spelen tegen de spits van
Well, to play
West
against
Ham
the striker
is-
of
is
West
wel wat
Ham,
zwaarder om te spelen tegen de spits van
it's
RKC.
tougher to
Dus
play
of
against
niet alleen dat hij
than
dezelfde
you look at the
kilometer
striker of RKC, the Dutch team here in the Netherlands. The intensity of the duels that you face are so much heavier here in England than in the Netherlands.
Daar gaat Robbie misschien spelen, hè?
Then Robbie's going to play there. First of all, welcome back to the Netherlands. Do you still follow Feyenoord? And if you do, in what way? What do you think of
Er zijn heel
their
veel vragen over NE.
season? These are a lot of questions in one. Of
Ik volg
course, I do follow
Uiteraard de
them.
Eredivisie nog, maar
I
minder,
follow the
veel
Eredivisie,
minder
but less
extreem
intense,
dan hiervoor.
or I see less than I used
Dus
to
ja, ik
do,
volg
or
ze. De
that I
tweede
used to
vraag
see.
was.
Yes, I follow them. And what's your second
Ja, dus
question?
niet zo extreem. Ik heb uiteraard de wedstrijd bij
Well,
München
not
gezien, zelf niet
that
speelde.
extremely, because I of course saw
we
the
spelen
game
constant
against Bayern
gelijk
München
bij. Dus
because
ik heb
we
niet
faced them
overdreven
also,
veel
but we
wedstrijden
played at the
van-
same
van
time,
gezien.
so I didn't see that many
En ja,
games
ik
of
weet niet hoe het
Feyenoord.
gaat. Ja, ik denk
And the
dat
last
het-
one,
ik heb ook
how
invloed.
does it go
Gaat
with
geweldig in de
Feyenoord? Well,
Champions
I guess you can say this also,
en ik
they're
denk,
doing great in Champions League.
Aanname, dat ze vaak
I am
gezien dat de
supposing
competitie wat beter
that
zou
in
gaan.
they were wishing
maar
to
goed.
perform better in the Dutch league, but this
Ja,
is my
dat is
idea.
de realiteit van hem.
This is the reality now that they are facing.
Last one at the back.
Arne, welkom terug in Nederland. Je zegt net-
Arne, welcome back. You are saying my father is not in the stadium. Did you receive another message or invitation
Dat
from
valt
us
eigenlijk
to
reuze mee.
arrange some
Mijn gezin is er wel.
tickets for the game
en
tomorrow?
mijn
Did
broertje
many
met zijn
people
vrouw
want to
ook.
come tomorrow? No, not that many people. My family
ja,
is
ik denk
here,
niet dat het
and
altijd zo is, maar
my
als ik
brother,
met,
or I don't know if it's always like this, but when we
dus ik weet niet of dat heel veel
want a
uitdrukking
ticket
is
for
in,
Liverpool, they
als het bij
sometimes
Feyenoord
need to be sitting in the
maar,
stands of the opponent's team.
Dus ja,
in the
dat zijn eigenlijk de
stadium
enige
in Liverpool.
aanvragen die ik
So
gehad heb.
these are the only
En na
requests
het
that I
weekend
received.
waren deze en geen ook nog wel wat
And after the
geïnteresseerd,
weekend,
totdat
some
dan
more
vroeger wat
people were
opstelling was.
interested, but then they asked what they were the first 11 to place in and what I was thinking. But then the interest of the team came less and less from my family. But I still think that the Liverpool fans are looking forward towards this game because it's a beautiful game to play and we still bring in good players.
Guys.
Dank jullie wel allemaal.
Middle.
Okay guys, got Cody Gakpo, we'll take questions in English, just let it know if you're going to ask in Dutch and we'll get the translation. Later.
In Dutch? Okay.
In Dutch, yeah.
Hoe is het om terug te zijn deze?
Cody, what's it like to be back in the Netherlands?
Ja,
played for many
natuurlijk,
years here.
mooi moment denk ik. Speciale
It's a
wedstrijd
beautiful
voor mij,
moment,
maar,
special moment for
ja,
me,
kijk
of
ernaar uit om
course.
nog, weer op het
I'm
veld
looking
te staan.
forward to be on the pitch tomorrow. Have you mentioned
yeah,
the
I
coach
think,
that
dat
I
is
will
wel
be going with you
aanvoelen
tomorrow?
met
What did you
deze
say?
wedstrijd.
No, but I do think that the
Ja,
coach
vandaag gaat hij er vanuit worden
felt the
dat
same way that he
ja.
knew that I wanted to be part of the team playing here.
Jongen ging er iets meer dan 2 jaar geleden weg. En wat voor jongen?
What can you tell us about the guy who left here 2 years ago and the
Ja, ik
guy
denk
who we
dat
see here
ik
today?
volwassener ben geworden.
I think
ouder
I grew
geworden,
up a little bit
wat meer ervaring, meer
more
wedstrijden
mature,
gezien en,
a bit older, more experience in my legs. I think this is the biggest difference.
Aanwezig?
All your family will be here tomorrow? Yes, I do think so, yeah. Thank you. Welcome back. Cody, what do you expect? Do you have any idea what you can receive of the fans tomorrow? I haven't heard anything. I hope that I will get a positive moment tomorrow and that people receive me quite positively. I think that I've always had a great bond with the fans, with the club, and I'm looking forward to see them all. What will happen if you score a goal? Will you cheer? What will your reaction be like? I don't think that I will cheer that much because I'm so thankful and I thank so many things to this club, and I don't think that I will be too enthusiastic. We've read many stories about you. One of your first coaches, the amateur team, who saw you when you were 7 years old, he said that you were you had your eyes on the world. What kind of boy did you become playing for PSV?
Dat is een goede vraag. Ik denk
That's a good question.
dat ik een leergierige jongen was.
I think that I always was a guy willing to learn, eager to learn, always looking to
ja, dat heb ik ook mede te danken aan PSV.
learn more, and this is also thanks to PSV. Cody.
Tribune.
I also read something about Players Tribune. Last season, you couldn't bring what you wanted last season, something you said in the press. But now I think the group is bigger and better. But do you feel it yourself? Did it become more competitive, the group? I think that last season we had a period that we had many injuries, and then of course the squad decreases. This didn't help, of course. Some other players came back without their form or their shape, but we were still in an important period of the league, so all happened at the same time in a bad moment. But now we do have a group that is fit, in form, in shape, with a lot of quality.
Maakt ons wel sterk op dit moment.
And I think that it makes us stronger. One more question. One more moment. You had your substitute last game, and right straight away the coach said something. What did he say on the sidelines? Oh, you mean when I got substituted or when I had to go off the pitch? Well, the coach said that also it was because of the game coming up, this game, so that hopefully I could also play against PSV. As a captain? No, I don't think. There are some other players who can also, who are also here and
recht op hebben om het zo maar te
who also deserve to be a captain.
Just a couple of calls. How strange would it be to walk out at the stadium as the away player tomorrow night? Like, how odd will that be for you?
Yeah, it's pretty strange. I think I've never been in the away dressing room, so it will be my first time. So yeah, and also on the other side of the walkout. So yeah, different than I was used to, but yeah, when the game will start, I think all those things will fade away, and we all will be focused on the game. And with the team we have, we are here and we are going for the win. So yeah, hopefully it will be a good game.
Just on the slot, you always seem to play on that left wing role, whereas last season you used to have to play a bit as number 9. Are you much happier there, and you seem to be playing some of your best football there?
Yeah, I think before I played as central striker, I played as a left winger. So I always have been a left winger, and now I'm back where I play at my best. I think so. Happy.
Andy.
Cody,
What type of reception are you expecting tomorrow from home fans? Sorry, you've been asked this already in Dutch. And also with Slot resting a lot of the regular players, were you given that opportunity, and what did you say that you wanted to come here and play?
So your first question, yeah, hopefully a good reception from the fans. I think I always had a good connection with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see them again tomorrow. And on your second question, yeah, but I got the question from the manager as well, but I didn't play 1 minute against Lille last week. So also with from the manager's point of view, that I probably would like to come over here and get some minutes here. So yeah, that's why I'm here actually.
Any more? Chris?
Sorry if this is being asked in Dutch, but what do you think the biggest difference is this season to last, in terms of you were in a very similar position, going for 4 trophies, you mentioned like Chevy and until the last 10 games you've done. What do you think the biggest lesson you've learned that can help the team this season?
Well, I think the biggest difference is at this point, I think last season we had a lot of injuries, what I just said as well in Dutch. And obviously, I think Mo was also away for the Africa Cup, so that didn't help as well. He injured himself over there, I think, even. And then we had, I think, Darwin was out with his hamstring. Dominic was out. Curtis was out. Trent was out. Trent was out as well. So Jota was out as well. So Ali was out. Ali was out as well. So we had some problems last year, which didn't help. This year, at this point, almost everybody's fit. So we are hoping that we can keep it this way and we can keep going.
Do you think that the run is much even more now as well, because you had actually years of team together as well?
Yeah, obviously a year has gone by, and then as a team, as a group, you get more experience, you get more togetherness as well. So yeah, I think we were growing last year and we are growing this year as well. So hopefully we can bring it to a good end. Thank you.
Last one, please.
Kobe, wat is de grootste verschil, de grootste toevoeging die Arne Slot aan Liverpool heeft gegeven?
Arne Slot added to this team. And what do you think that his biggest plus point or biggest positive point that he brought in? I think that in ball possession, we face these games in a different way. I think that we play more on ball possession. In some periods during a game, we prefer to maintain ball possession and create afterward that a bigger occasion, and we also try to break, how to say so, the opponent. And this helps us. So when we lose the ball possession, we still have the energy and to play high pressure again and to get the ball back, and it all starts again. I think that also tactically speaking, this is the biggest strength that we now face or encounter our opponents, and we all like this. Do you still look at PSV? Do you follow them? What do you think of the season? Yes, I still follow them. I try to watch the games. They are first, I believe, 4 points above the second team. I think they're doing well. Yes, of course. Well, if you look at the last games, if I remember well, they lost. They had a strange game for the Cup, Dutch Cup, in between, but they still won. So yes, at the end, I think the most important thing is that if they continue in this way, that they are doing well. So that this is what I hope. Thank you. Thank you all.